In Consumer Corner, we take a look at trends and products creating a buzz here in China. On today's show, we'll discuss the unfair household registration system in China. Recently, Chinese media reported that Beijing's illegal registered permanent residence trading crime hit the amount of 1 million, which put the Chinese household registration system, the CHRS, into the public's attention again. Back to 1958, in order to keep the rural population from pouring into cities, Chairman Mao Zedong proposed the suggestion of CHRS's establishment. At that time, the CHRS was divided into two kinds, the urban household registration and the rural household registration. However, with the developing Chinese economy, especially after 1978's economic reform, the profits gap between the two different household registration systems has become larger. While the urban household registration enjoys increasing privileges and welfares, very little improvement has been provided for rural population. More than that, the different household registration system has stopped the rural people from getting better life through settling in the cities. The urban population became quite rich within only 30 years, while the rural population never got a chance to take advantages from the high-speed developing economy. Beijing, due to its special status in Chinese political and economic development, has enjoyed more social resources. The city's registered permanent residence certificate, called the Beijing hukou in Chinese, can bring to its holder more welfare, privileges, and profits. It's not only a link with the social security system, but also solving the problems of houses and car purchasing, job hunting, children's education for its holder. A migrant in Beijing once calculated the economic effectiveness one Beijing hukou can bring to its holder. He indicated that if these holders' children receive education in Beijing, a Beijing hukou can at least save $2,100 for the holders during the 9 years of compulsory education. If the holders join the healthcare system, they can get over $27,000 of insurance coverage with a premium of just $16 a year. However, the biggest advantage the Beijing hukou can bring is the right to purchase economically affordable housing. With today's overloaded housing prices in Beijing, each of them would only have to pay less than $96,450 for an economically affordable house with an area of 90 square meters, instead of its original price of $482,250. With such a high profit, a Beijing hukou definitely has become the most wanted for those who want to settle down in Beijing. It's obvious that Beijing hukou has become the most efficient way for migrant workers to accomplish their Beijing dream. However, the strict restriction policy in Beijing hukou has awakened them from their sweet dreams. There are three major methods to achieve that goal. First, the applicant has to pay taxes over $480,000 to the Beijing government. Second, to get married with a Beijing hukou holder for at least 5 years. Third, to be occupied by the SOEs, or the public institutions. The interesting part is that most of the public institutions and SOEs all require its applicants to be Beijingers or with a Beijing hukou. Considering to get a Beijing hukou is much harder to get than an American green card, while without a Beijing hukou, non-Beijingers' basic rights of living cannot be guaranteed. Some criminals are profiteering by selling the Beijing hukous. Usually these hukou dealers would publish some false information about Beijing hukou and then charge a really high fee that runs between $600,000 and $1 million from their victims who have believed in their scam. Considering most of their victims are in desperate needs of Beijing hukous, along with the economic benefits behind the hukou, they are willing to pay the high fees on them. Many netizens showed their opinions on the internet about the illegal hukou trading. One poster wrote, quote, "I don't get these migrant workers' minds. What's so good in Beijing? The severely polluted air, the dirty water, or the shock-you-to-death housing prices? Why did they make so many efforts to become a Beijinger?" Another netizen immediately replied to his post, quote, "Beijing is raised by the whole country's taxpayers, enjoys the best resources like the best education and job opportunity, best health care, most convenient public transportation, and cultural activities, highest salary. You tell me what's so good in Beijing." While some netizens prove that it's true that the hukou can be bought, quote, "I got my hukou by bribing one of the government officials with over $3,000 and several bags of cigarettes, invited him for some dinners, and my urban hukou is done. The hukou trading is already an open secret. However, Beijing hukou is too expensive for me to afford." Some netizens even ironically suggested, quote, if the Beijing government sold its hukou with at least $16,000, the problem of local debt would be solved immediately. In fact, the abnormal CHRS linked with all kinds of benefits has far exceeded its original duty. The state should peel off all kinds of benefits linked with the hukou as soon as possible in order to stop negative effects it brought to the society, and thus to completely put an end to the crimes like hukou trading.